Hello everyone, it's Harley here. Welcome to another video. If you've not watched part 1 of this video, I will have it linked in the description. This is part 2 of tourism in New York City. Please watch the first video first. Let's get straight into it on day 6. So first we had some pancakes for breakfast. Very, very nice. We went to Trump Tower. Now this is a massive building, and no matter what you think of Donald Trump, the Trump Tower is just amazing inside. This is only one of his buildings. He's got property all over, I think, even in like places like India. Now, again, there was a bit of a touristy bit where you could go in the lobby, and there's a lot of stuff there. There's stuff to do with his 45th presidential term. Obviously, he's now 47th as well. There was like a merch shop downstairs. There was a bar which wasn't open. But again, obviously this will just be a normal office building for, I assume, Trump's businesses, his employees. So, yeah, grand. Everything was like gold and stuff. We went outside of the Trump Tower and we saw a big Louis Vuitton suitcase thing. Now, upon further investigation, this is just what they do to cover their construction work. They're having a revamp of the Louis Vuitton building, the store, and it just looks like so weird. It was so tall as well, like a proper big building, but suitcases. I've never seen anything like it. We then nipped into the Plaza Hotel lobby, and they also had a little shop as well. This is the hotel from Home Alone, so we got a little look around there. Brilliant hotel. I bet it's right expensive though. After that, we had a walk around Central Park. Now, this is massive, spans all the way through the middle of Manhattan, and we had an amazing walk around there. It was boiling, so we were sweating our tits off, but there were people selling water everywhere for like $1, which is pretty good. And in Central Park, there's all sorts. There's monuments, lakes, like old castle ruins, I think, like big squares. It was awesome. Took some pictures of turtles and stuff as well. That's a common animal around that area, especially with the lakes and stuff. You don't really see turtles at all in the UK. Yeah, I feel like I got some pretty good pictures here, to be fair. I will just say though, the heat wasn't as bad as Malta, walking around Valletta, where I literally had to go into a toilet and use a toilet roll to wipe myself off, take the top off and that, and blow dry myself. We stopped off at the Hershey's shop, and as you can imagine, it sells Hershey's chocolate. I got a bag of Hershey's nuggets, which were literally just a piece of solid milk chocolate. And I also got a bag of Hershey's Kisses, which were birthday cake flavour. A bit wacky flavoured, but they're alright. And we left some of these like along with a little tip for the housekeepers every day, so that was, I'm sure that were nice for them. Once again, we have an interruption. What are you doing, dog? What are you doing? This is not a toy. This is a microphone and a camera. Not for you. In the evening, we went to a New York Yankees baseball game. And this is in, the stadium is in the Bronx. And they were playing the Minnesota Twins, I believe. And this was an amazing experience. I bought a jacket just specifically for this. I think my dad got a Yankees hat as well. And I really enjoyed it. I wish they had baseball like this in the UK. But the whole atmosphere is completely different from UK sports. So obviously in football here, you have the opposing fans on the other side at stadium, you know, and then people start fighting outside it and stuff. But over there, the seating is mixed. So you could be sat next to opposing fans. And everyone seems to get along. Obviously in baseball as well, they throw the balls into the crowd. Someone ended up getting their face smashed with that, and the nose were bleeding and everything. I can't remember what happened to him after that, but he came back. Hopefully still had the baseball. There was always some kind of sound effect or, you know, voice track or whatever throughout the game, literally every few seconds. The actual match, baseball, it's not a very quick-paced match, you know. It's not a quick-paced sport. It's very like, it takes a while for it to get going, if you get what I mean. It's not like football. But yeah, there were this one guy sat in between two opposing fans, and whenever the Yankees scored, he would get bullied by these two guys. They would record him in his face and like start chanting at him and stuff. It were really funny. We also got the subway to the Bronx and back, and relatively alright experience, to be fair. Similar to the London Underground. A few homeless people on that, but I guess they weren't causing any harm. I'm in my Christmas jumper to talk about day 7 because it's Christmas Day right now, so Merry Christmas everyone. Got a bit of time in the evening. I'm feeling fat, I'm feeling full. I've opened all my stuff. I'm waiting for Battlefield 6 to download, so I thought why not carry on the video. So day 6 was just a nice chilled out day. We went to Coney Island, and there's loads of roller coasters, rides. It's like a theme park basically. We had some pancakes in the morning at IHOP. I went to Florida ages ago, and IHOP is very, very nice. I love it. We went to the New York Aquarium, where, as you can imagine, there were fish, sea life, stuff like that. I'll just pop some pictures up on screen because I don't really know types and breeds of sea life, to be honest. But yeah, the theme park was good. Went on some roller coasters, some upside down ones, some twisty ones. And yeah, there was also a beach nearby, a little beach, nice chilled out beach, not too many people on it. Nice little boardwalk near the beach as well. Yeah, nothing else to say really, it was great. On day 8 we took the Staten Island ferry over to Liberty Island, but first I saw this old building. Well, it didn't really look old, but it was just in the middle of 2 big skyscrapers. So we went over to Liberty Island, and of course we saw the Statue of Liberty. Very big, it's bigger than you'd expect, it's huge. I got some pretty good photos of it. And it wasn't just the statue either, there was, you know, little stalls selling lemonade, merch shops. It was just a nice place to be in general, and great views of New York City from the distance as well. There was also a little museum with old parts of the statue, like its face, an old ear, an old foot. Yeah, very, very cool. The only problem is, on the way back, when we were trying to leave, the queue for the ferry on the way back was huge. We had to stand there for hours, and it was crazy. After this, we got a ferry to Ellis Island. I spoke a bit about this in part 1, but this was an immigration processing hub. It used to be a fort, but it got changed to an immigration processing pub. God. Now it's a museum to show the history of immigration into the US. And between the 1880s and the 1950s, this was open and millions of immigrants were coming in. The peak years, early 1900s, and these immigrants were mainly coming from Italy, Ireland, Russia, a lot of Jewish immigrants. And yeah, this place is now a museum, and it showed the history of it. I didn't get too many pictures because, you know, in a museum I was just trying to look around. It was more information based and writing and films that you could watch rather than actual like artifacts and stuff. It's worth pointing out that before Ellis Island, the immigrants mainly came from the UK, Ireland and Germany. So there were a lot of English, Scottish, Irish, Germans, etc. But then when this opened, they came from Southern and Eastern Europe as well. After this, we went to the 9/11 Museum. Obviously this museum was mainly underground, so this will be where the buildings were actually built, you know, the foundations. There were remains of the building, destroyed fire engines, other stuff that was destroyed when they fell down, and just general memorials to the people who lost their lives as well. There were these motorbikes dedicated to some firefighters that lost their lives during September 11th, which was nice to see. Mosaic vigil, which is nice. After that, we saw the 9/11 memorials. Now, these were big, giant, lit up waterfall kind of monuments where the old Twin Towers were. They had thousands of names on them, of all the victims from the September 11th attacks, and it's a very fitting memorial. I can't think of anything better to pay tribute to those who lost their lives. Finally, we went up the One World Trade Center. This is the new World Trade Center. It was built after the Twin Towers, and it is huge. It's the tallest building in the US, and the views are amazing. They're incredible. Visibility was getting a bit foggy, a bit misty. We were going into night time as well, but I didn't get any pictures of this. There was lightning coming down onto New York, and yeah, just incredible views. Had a bit of difficulty getting up there because I had a wallet tool in my wallet, so they had to confiscate that, but apart from that, great. Day 9 was a bit random. We walked around, we got the subway to Brooklyn, and we had a little walk around there first before coming over the Brooklyn Bridge, and then we had a little look around at all sorts around Lower Manhattan. So I'm going to walk you through all these little bits that we saw. So we saw this bridge and everyone were just taking pictures in front of it, so we did as well. Seems like a picturesque spot, you know, a popular Instagram photo spot or something. Don't really know what bridge it is. It's not the Brooklyn Bridge though, this one, just keep that in mind. And then on the way we saw these little birds and got a good picture of them with my camera. Now this is the Brooklyn Bridge, and of course we walked across it. Nice walk, a lot of people selling like cheap key rings and stuff. A bit of a hassle with all them, but you know, it was still an alright walk. Very long bridge. We walked past a big Roman Catholic church, and then we also walked past 2 courthouses, absolutely massive buildings. This is the Manhattan Municipal Building, which is a government building, houses many government offices. We walked past the AT&T building, which has got no windows. It's nuke proof apparently, and it holds much like data, and it's a telecommunications centre. We walked past the African Burial Ground, where in the colonial slave era of America, many Africans were buried in the same spot. It was forgotten for about 2 centuries, and then it was rediscovered in 1991, hundreds of bodies. So they built this monument to commemorate those. We saw this big, massive, reflective bean, just a bean sculpture. Don't know what its purpose is, but funny to see, I suppose. And then we saw the Ghostbusters fire station from the Ghostbusters movies, and pardon me, it's worth pointing out this is still active. It's still a regular fire station. They still use it, a firehouse, and it's still active, but a good touristy spot. A lot of people taking pictures. Now we're in all the financial district, so we saw the Federal Reserve, which honestly I don't know much about banking and money and stuff like that. I really don't. But it's got something to do with gold and banking. If someone wants to explain, feel free to do so in the comments. We've got the Federal Hall National Monument, which is a commemoration to George Washington's first inauguration, the Constitution, etc. Again, don't really know too much about it. Got the New York Stock Exchange. Obviously stock trading, stuff like that, again, money stuff. Wall Street, very famous, and it used to just be a wall back when the Dutch controlled it, and that's why it's called Wall Street. Very simple. We saw the Charging Bull. Then we moved on and we went to Grand Central Station. This is New York's main train station. Interesting design in there on the roof and with the lights. Huge, loads of people there, and we got a close look at the Chrysler building up close. Massive building. And finally we went to the One Summit Vanderbilt, I think, or Summit One Vanderbilt. And they had some strange stuff in here. I don't know if it was some kind of modern art or what, but there was a room with like mirrors. There was a room with loads of silver like balloons flying about. People were proper smacking them at each other. There were a room with like these, like, I don't even know, just a very strange exhibition, but it were cool, I suppose. And then the top was just a regular viewing deck. Got some good views, some good pictures, saw all the main buildings in the skyline. And that's pretty much it. I'm not going to include day 10 as a separate day because we just woke up and we pretty much had to get going. We took one final picture of Times Square, and they were setting up for some boxing match in the middle of Times Square. Not sure what that was about, but let's do the merch review now. I'm going to try and speed through this merch review because I have got a lot of stuff. So, starting off, we've got an Ellis Island patch. Very nice. We've got an Empire State Building patch. On my keys, a New York license plate keyring. Very nice. And we found our family crest, I think at Ellis Island. So it literally just has my surname, and it also told us what the family name meant and stuff. I've got a psychology book. I've been reading it. It's actually quite good. It tells you all about like mental conditions and stuff. From Trump Tower, we got these golden Trump regular card deck, but they're all like gold colour. You know what I mean? Very nice indeed. Got the Yankees jacket from earlier, from part 1. Very good. Look at the back. Great piece right there. Got a Make America Great Again hat from Trump Tower again in this camo. Very interesting, different from the normal ones. We've got an American Eagle tracksuit, which has unfortunately got dog hairs on it now, but it was, it's still nice, lovely colour. And I'll show you the hoodie as well. Yeah, very nice. And on the back it says American Eagle. Now we've got the magnets, so we've got a New York Aquarium one, we've got another New York, a Squid Game one, Top of the Rock, Empire State Building, USS Intrepid, FAO Schwartz, that's my favourite. Now we've got the One World Trade Center baseball, very nice. Love it. And then we've got the Lego set that I got. This is a Lego arcade machine, and you can actually open it up. Let me just do that. And as you can see, it's got some stuff inside. There's a bloke in here. Don't know who he is. But yeah, nice feature. And then finally up here, we've got a Statue of Liberty. I've got a Madame Tussauds director's chair and a mini Empire State. This was not bought from New York. I got it for Christmas, this Lego Empire State, but it looks cool. Fits with the New York stuff. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching. If you're thinking about going to New York City, I definitely recommend it. There's plenty to do and it's a great culture. You might need to save up a bit of money though, because it is a bit expensive, but it's always going to be in these major cities. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned. I'm going to start actually vlogging in person. Upcoming videos. Hopefully that'll be soon. And yeah, peace out. Thanks for watching.